I was seeing if it was growing another Jeep over here yet, but it's not.
Oh shoot.
Thank God. Can't afford another one. Tastes like Missouri. I'm gonna pull that O2 back out, and then we'll unbolt the exhaust down there, and we can figure out how we're gonna flip that that manifold down there the other way, because it has to point forward to come up through this opening to bring our flange somewhere up in this region so the turbo can sit over here. So we're going to go ahead and start unbolting and cutting, and she's gonna have a turbo on her. As you can see, we got the intake off. The exhaust manifold is chilling down here. It does still have that ceramic stuff on it, which is fine. We're gonna have to grind a little bit of it off. Oh, that's nice. That's cracked already. Well, that's cool. I do like high quality stuff, so I'm very glad that that is cracked. Well, I'm glad we're doing this at least, so I found that before it like got worse. Dang, that's annoying. Okay, well, the plan is I'm going to cut these, this one and this one, and we're going to have to figure out the angle once we flip this around so this faces that way, and run it up underneath this motor mount. So it's going to run under here, and then it's going to come up here, and then we're going to have to figure out a way to feed it. So this should be fun. I'm excited. I'm hoping I don't have to go buy any more tubing because we're on a budget, but we'll see how it goes. I'm going to get started on, I guess, removing the exhaust manifold and cleaning it so that we can fix that crack. So we got the manifold off. I did discover this crack, which I showed you already, but there's also another one down in here, which I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but there's a little baby crack right there. So that's cash money. JK, LOL. So I'm a little annoyed about that because this is supposed to be a fancy aftermarket header, so yeah, it is what it is. I would say you get what you pay for, but given the current presidential administration situation, you don't even get what you pay for anymore. But we won't get into that. Check this out. I got new cups and new gas lens. Super cool. It's got these little heat resistant O-rings in here, and it's so cool. I'm excited. I haven't used it yet because I still got to clean this up, but we'll be using my fancy new welding setup. So we're going to cut this. We're going to see if we need to go buy more tubing. If we don't, we don't. If we do, whatever. 148% inflation. And we're going to get back on this. I've got to do a little bit of cleaning. I'm going to go ahead and weld that crack here first and get that knocked out. Turbo guy, we'll be back. I'm hoping to have a turbo on this thing tonight. Maybe not making pigeon noises, maybe not necessarily all plumbed in and everything, but the girlfriend's going to start working on the charge piping. We got to figure out the tabs to mount the intercooler. There's a lot to do. Okie dokie, we got her welded. It is not a pro level job, but I'm not a pro level welder. But she's welded. There's not a crack anymore. The wind started blowing pretty hard right there, so I got a little porosity in it. But I built a barrier to try to keep the wind off of me, and it seemed to help. So we got the crack welded all the way down below there, so that's not a problem anymore. Okay, we cut the exhaust. Kind of nerve-wracking cutting your header, but it is what it is. We got this thing cut. You can see one is round and one is severely ovaled. This is an aftermarket manifold. Did you know a mosquito can fly, but a fly cannot mosquito? Hey everybody, as you can see it's dark now. We ran into a little bit of a hiccup. As I've said before, me and Clarence don't get along too good. So we ran into a clearance issue to where the first one, we had those funky tubes coming off here doing some weird stuff. I didn't like the way it looked to begin with, but I was just gonna send it just to get us to Iowa. But it didn't work. The pipe was hanging down too low, it was too close to the upper control arm. I didn't like it, I cut it apart, we started over. I've got it kind of tacked up now, just a rough idea, and got it all bolted on the head, got underneath it, went to put my V-band on, thought everything was great. We don't have room to get to my turbo drain going into the oil pan. Here we go again. So I've got to cut it apart again, just these tacks on this bottom piece for the merge collector. We got to cut those off. I am going to go ahead and cut these up here, up a little higher, so we can get this up higher, and that way then I can angle this more rearward, and we can hopefully shoot the pipe kind of off at an angle, and then come around like at an angle, and then go around our turbo drain. I don't know exactly how I'm going to configure the turbo drain, because it's going to be kind of tight getting it down there, especially with the exhaust coming up. But we're gonna ceramic coat and wrap the exhaust, so I think it'll work okay. But I think this is the third or fourth revision to this exhaust setup. I think we're gonna be good. Here's what we're doing. I have taken the cardboard and made myself a template so that I know how the bracket's going to go for the up pipe that goes onto the motor mount, so that we have a good general idea what we're working with. You guys keep subscribing. We'll be doing this on a plasma table one day. I know I want some earmuffs. This is going to be extremely loud. Okay, I got this bracket tacked in. We went ahead and cut it out with the grinder and then hammered it to make it at the angle we needed, and I built this little piece here to add a little extra support. It does work. I'm gonna show you guys how well it works. You stick it down in here. Once you get it just about lined up with the V-band, you slide it on that bolt. And that way your hands are free to get in here and line it up with the actual V-band and put your clamp on it. And just like that, you're good. Easy peasy. We're gonna weld this the rest of the way up, and she's going to paint it for me, which I had it painted, but I forgot about my bracket, so I had to clean that area up. So I'm gonna get it welded out, then she's gonna paint all the bare metal on the bracket and everything else, and then I'll be able to wrap it, which is gonna be really fun with that bracket in the way, but it's okay, I'll figure it out. Hello everyone, I'm nervous. Here's what we're doing. I decided we don't have quite enough room coming off the up pipe to plumb the turbo or the wastegate the way I wanted to. So as you can see here, I have marked somewhat of a hole. I'm gonna go ahead and get this centered, and then we're gonna drill a hole in my turbo. So wish me luck. Hey everybody. All right, we made the executive decision. I say we, I mean I. There's a hole in my turbo. I made a hole in my turbo. We're going to be mounting the wastegate right here on the housing. So it'll be poking out that way. I got to figure out the exact angle, so we're going to go ahead and mock it back up again just to make sure we have enough room, and that's going to clear the hood like we want it to. Look what I did. I made a hole in my turbo. We went ahead and hole sawed into the hot side. Got this all welded up. Put a little stand on it to raise the wastegate off so I can get to the V-band nice and easy. And we still got plenty of room under the hood. We're probably going to go ahead and order a smaller gate, because this wastegate was on the blue car. If you guys remember the little blue Festiva, this wastegate was on there. I took it off of there because it was leaking and I couldn't get it to seal. The car wasn't making hardly any boost at all. It was leaking. So I don't know if the diaphragm failed or what exactly happened, but more than likely this will get replaced. But this is good for just getting it on there and mock up, getting the flange set, making sure we have room, all that good stuff. So that's on there. The next step, which will be in the next video, we're going to be doing fuel system, which we already got injectors. I have my regulator mounted, my D-Choice regulator. I got my fancy gauge on there. Next video, we're going to be doing fuel system. That will be very soon. We're going to get that knocked out probably tomorrow. All the fittings will be here tomorrow, so there ain't no reason that we can't get that knocked out unless something comes up. But yeah, we'll be back. You guys subscribe. We're almost to 550. We're at like 548. So you guys keep doing your thing, and we're going to keep doing our thing. Also, friends that might be watching this in Florida, I hope you guys got out of there. You guys, you're a little braver than me if you're still in Florida right now, especially where the hurricane's hitting. So thoughts for those guys for sure. And you guys stay safe out there. And if you have any comments, suggestions on what route to go next or how to do something better than I'm doing it, let me know. I'm all ears. I don't know everything. So you guys, thanks for everything, and we'll be back with a fuel system video real soon.